I'm the Rules Girl, and this is Unicornus Knights, a cooperative game of fantasy warfare for 2 to 6 players. In Unicornus Knights, players are allies of an exiled princess, escorting her to reclaim her kingdom from the treacherous emperor. However, the overeager princess has a mind of her own, often marching into battles that she has no chance of winning by herself. The goal of the game is to win. And you win if the princess makes it to the capital alive before time runs out. The princess begins her journey in the ancestral castle, while you begin on your unique kingdom tile. The princess and each player start with 10 resources, health equal to this number, and military power tokens equal to half of this one. On the other side of the map, the capital is guarded by many soldiers, led by the Mad Emperor himself. And throughout the map are more enemy soldiers and Empire characters with health, military strength, and special abilities. Each round features 6 steps, in which players, the princess, then finally enemies take actions. In the start of round step, any start of round effects trigger. In the event step, draw one event card as a team and resolve its effect. Events do all sorts of negative things, like make the princess act erratically, strengthen enemies, or spawn bad guys. After that, it's time for the player step. Beginning with the starting player and going clockwise, players take a number of actions depending on the number of players. These actions include 1. Moving to one adjacent space by spending resources equal to your current military power, plus or minus any modifiers on your space. 2. Recruiting soldiers, gaining this much military power, up to a maximum of this number. If there's no such number in your space, you can't recruit. 3. Collecting resources, gaining the number on your space. If there's no such number on your space, you only get 1 resource. 4. Sending resources and military power to a player or princess on your tile or an adjacent one. You must send 1 military power for every 10 resources you're sending. Round it up. 5. Drawing 1 support card. Special cards that can be used for all sorts of things, like moving the princess or strengthening your team. This can only be done once per turn. Support cards, along with your special abilities, don't cost an action to use, unless otherwise noted. The first time an Empire character is in the same tile or adjacent to a player character or princess, those 2 characters are bound by fate. Draw a fate card and resolve its effect. These cards might make that character stronger, or provide a condition by which they can become your ally, giving you or the princess additional bonuses in combat. If you move onto a space with enemy soldiers and/or an Empire character, a battle begins. Roll dice equal to your current military power, plus any modifiers from things like support cards and special abilities, minus modifiers such as enemy character powers or the defense value of whatever tile you're attacking. Then assign these dice to the enemy character and their soldiers. You must assign 1 die to each enemy soldier before assigning any dice to the character. Now, consult the attack side of your combat sheet and resolve the effects of the dice. Dealing 1 damage to that enemy, dealing 1 damage to your health or your soldiers, or no effect. A soldier with no die assigned to it automatically deals 1 damage to you or your soldiers, and the enemy character deals 1 damage for every die short of this number you assign to them. Finally, if any enemy unit survived, you automatically move back to the space you came from. Once every player has taken their turn, it's time for the princess step. The princess gets 3 actions. If possible, she spends those actions moving along the most direct route to the capital, moving around friendly characters, and preferring routes that cost less movement. Whenever the princess moves, she spends resources just like players. If she gets in a battle with an enemy unit, she annihilates them, but takes damage equal to the number of enemy soldiers, plus the military power value of any present enemy character. Players decide how this damage is split up amongst her soldiers and her health. If she doesn't have the resources to move, she'll spend her action gathering more, just like players would. Once the princess has taken 3 actions, the enemy step begins. Enemy units will move to attack an adjacent character or princess. Defending is like attacking, but you'll use this side of your combat sheet instead of this side, and your tile's defense value will add to your dice. Aggressive characters will move 1 space towards the nearest player character or princess. If one isn't already available to attack, they'll bring any soldiers they bump into with them, but but can't merge with another Empire character. And finally, defensive units never move, except for card effects. And that's a round. And each round by resolving any end-of-round effects and pass the princess card to the player on your left, making them the next starting player. If a player character dies, that player picks an unused kingdom character to play as, taking their starting resources and military power and spawning on any unoccupied starting position. While the old character's allies, resources, and military power are lost, support cards are kept. Keep playing until the princess makes it to the capital alive. The players win the game. But beware, you lose if the princess dies, or victory hasn't been achieved by the end of round 10. Ready to play? Give each player a character, pick a princess, then give each character and the princess their matching character tile and figure, 10 resources, and soldiers, equal to half this number. Round it up. Randomly place 3 random empire tiles here, 5 empire tiles here, 3 empire and 2 kingdom tiles here, and 5 kingdom tiles here, including the player kingdom tiles and the princess's ancestral castle. Spawn the appropriate empire characters and soldiers on each empire tile. Then, spawn the player characters and princess on the appropriate kingdom tiles. Create the event deck by making 3 shuffled piles of 3 1s, 3 2s, and 4 3s. Putting the 2s on top of the 3s and 1s on top of the 2s. Place the princess card in front of the starting player. If you liked Unicornus Knights, you might also like The Captain is Dead, another frantic co-op by AEG. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking it or subscribing to the Dice Tower for rules explanations, reviews, and more.